All right, coming in from the north, southbound I-5 slowing up at Del Paso Road. And the Yellow Causeway headed out to Davis. You're slowing down there just before you get to Reed Avenue, westbound 80. Traffic brought to you by ZeroResSacramento.com. And let's see. Take it away, Michelle.
And now, Sonoma's worst Mexican. Here's Dan.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Sean.
Yes.
Sean, you and I are men, and so when we, as men, when we talk to a woman, and if that woman is lying to us, we as men usually don't have the ability to see through that. Now, I mention this because this hearing yesterday with the very aptly named Kimberly Cheadle, most of the women from the Republican Party saw right through this woman. Well, we wouldn't be able to see it. And the other men, the Republican men, didn't see what these women saw. They were ripping into Cheadle because they knew she was lying through her teeth. In fact, I was so impressed. I think it was Boebert who asked Cheadle if she was making communications through an encrypted device. That's the kind of thing that I want to hear, because I think they all know that this was not a failure. This was an intentional failure, and this was intended to kill Donald Trump. And this is one of the biggest conspiracies in U.S. history. And these women were ripping into her left and right, and I want to see more of it. Now, is Cheadle going to get prosecuted? Of course not. She's like all the others in the Biden administration.
She'll be having drinks with Obama.
Yeah, we'll talk about Obama in just a second. But again, I was happy to see what I saw. Cheadle's not going to resign. She's not going to get any pushback. I wonder if Congress has any legal action, because if you can sue her, or I don't know, I would exercise because again, these Democrats have proven they will kill. And I have said for years and years, I put absolutely nothing past these people, and I meant it. And now we're seeing evidence that this is what they will do. They did it with they killed millions with the pandemic worldwide. Think about that. They're responsible for the death of millions of people, and they could care less. They feel justified, and now they feel justified.
Like it, yeah.
They do like it. They're almost very excited in doing so. Now, Biden, let's talk about Biden here. I had predicted that Biden would go all the way. And I think that would have been true. But what no one could have predicted was the meltdown of almost a month ago on the debate stage. That changed everything. But I did predict correctly that Biden will not go in. He would not go willingly, and he didn't. I mean, with all the pushback for the last several weeks, he was defiant even as late as last Friday or Saturday, saying his administration said, we're not going anywhere. We're going all the way. And then suddenly he steps down, and we haven't seen him since. Something stinks here. Now, I don't think he's dead. I don't think that's the case. I think what's going on is the dust hasn't settled from whatever the establishment told him. Either they threatened him with his life, and again, they threatened Trump's life and almost took it, or they gave him a financial deal he couldn't pass up or whatever. But we'll see how Biden's reaction is when he makes his public statement. I'm guessing that when he finally addresses the nation, he's not going to have his heart into what he's saying. He's going to say what he has to say because he's made an agreement or was forced into an agreement. And so this is very, very, again, this is a deep state doing what it does best, flexing its muscles and pushing its agenda.
It is. And I don't know about anybody else, but I find it rather frightening.
It should be frightening. Yeah, you should be frightened. We are. And what's even more frightening is the large majority of people throughout the country are paying no attention to this. And that's what the Democrats are counting on, that people just say, it's just politics. I'm not going to listen to it. I think they are going to get sick of Kamala Harris within the next month, if not sooner. I mean, seeing her face, seeing her laugh and her cackle and her voice, the media is going to push her. And it sort of dovetails with that article by Liz Peek on Fox News, that the Democrats and the media are going to be pushing her like you can't believe. But this is going to be interesting to see what happens during the convention next month. What's happening now is that from this point forward, why should Democrats attend or vote in any primary? If they're voting in any primary, obviously their vote doesn't count, because it comes down to a bunch of delegates. The delegates are the ones who vote in the Democrat Party, in the Democrat conventions. The voter has no say-so whether you like it or not. Just ask those loyal Bernie Sanders voters from 2016.
Yeah, and 20.
And 20. It'll be interesting also to see if and when Osama Obama, or former president, endorses Madam Knee Pads. Because he hasn't done so as yet. There's a lot of fighting within, behind the scenes, deep, back in the back room. We haven't seen the last of this yet. And lastly, the CBS News story about the possible VP picks of knee pads, if she is the nominee, I think she probably will be. It's not going to be Gavin Newsom because, as I said before, it's two Californians, but not just two Californians, two San Francisco Californians. That is completely repulsive to the nation at large.
As Bachman Turner Overdrive once said, you ain't seen nothing yet, Dan.
That is very, very true.
Thank you. I got to go.
Thanks, bud. Talk to you tomorrow.
Always a pleasure. Dan is a fine American, and we are running late. It is 22 after 7.
Smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong.
Yep, that's the Democrat nominee for president, ladies and gentlemen, Kamala Harris.